This is episode 2 of the Black Food Tales podcast. I'm here with my lovely guest, Theresa Roberts. Did I say your name correctly?
Yes, you did.
Perfect. How about you tell us a bit more about your restaurant, a bit more about yourself?
Okay. Well, my name is Theresa Roberts. I was born in Jamaica. I came to England as a little girl to join a ready-made family because my mum and dad left me with my grandmother. And so that's my heritage, Jamaica. And I've done several businesses in London before I started Jamaican food. I've got a property portfolio, was my first business. I also do Jamaican art by sort of having exhibitions and bringing Jamaican art to Europe for the young artists in Jamaica. And then I built a house in Jamaica called Hanover Grange. Whilst I was building the house, I used to live on patties and coconut water. And after the house was built, I decided it would be a good idea to do something in England with Jamaican patties.
Okay. And so I guess tell us, why patties of all things? Why do you love patties?
Well, because as I said, when I was building my house in Jamaica, I just lived on patties. I used to just, no matter where I was, I used to get my driver to go and bring me patties, because patties and coconut water was all I need to survive.
Sure.
And when I came back to London, I missed the quality patties that I used to have. So I decided to start a company that sells Jamaican patties. And the other factor is my husband, who's very, very English, is from Falmouth, Cornwall. And obviously, the patties are the children of the Cornish pasty. And it's in our DNA. And I felt that if we were going to do something that reflect both of our heritage, patty was a good thing for us.
So that's actually a very good history lesson for, I guess, the listeners listening that don't know too much about the history of patties. And you're definitely right and correct. The patty being the child of the natural child of the
Cornish
pasty and stuff. But obviously our Jamaican forefathers have put their twist
and their stamp on it. And in fact, the patty is a much, much better product than the Cornish pasty, I'm afraid. And I could say that with my heart not being biased, because it's flakier, it's spicier, and it's so much nicer.
One thing that I really love about Jamaican patty is just the flaky pastry. There's nothing like biting into that flaky pastry and it just all crumbling, and then the spices and the aroma of all the filling inside. So I'm a patty fan, as you can probably tell by the big smile on my face. For you, which flavor patty is, I guess, your favorite?
Well, mine, I love spicy beef, and I love ackee and saltfish.
Okay.
So spicy beef, ackee and saltfish, and chicken. I love all my flavour patty, but and the vegetarian one is very good as well. Okay.
So I guess we have some. So for me, the Black Food Club and Black Food Tales is all about introducing Black cuisine, i.e. African or Caribbean food, to a new audience. For those that perhaps not familiar with ackee, because you mentioned ackee and saltfish, am I showing what ackee is to those people that don't know?
Yeah, ackee is a Jamaican fruit, but it's obviously cooked as a vegetable, and it's savoury. So, and the texture, for people who don't know what it is, the texture with ackee and saltfish is a bit like smoked salmon and scrambled egg, but obviously with a lot of flavour.
Never heard it described like that, but now I think of it, that is the texture. That is the texture. Okay. So I guess so let's dive into your history. You mentioned that you had a building company or a property company at one point in time, and then obviously made the transition into where we are now.
Yeah, which is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but I feel it's most rewarding.
Okay. What's the most rewarding part of this for you?
It's just having a business in a prime location. It goes back to how the world sees us, and in a sense, that's why a lot of people will come in, and if I'm not here, they don't think it's a black business because of where we're situated. And I can't be here all the time, but this is my business, you know. And then I get a lot of Caribbean people come and say there's nothing to do with Jamaica. I wonder because I'm not here, but this is a Jamaican company, and and it's mine.
Is it important for you to be like the face of the business? Like, is like people knowing it's black owned? Is that important?
Well, it is important, and the reason why it's important is when, and I understand with a lot of the people who's, especially Caribbean and Jamaican people who wants to know it's owned by Jamaican, because they go a lot of places and it's supposed to be Caribbean, and in fact it's not Caribbean. You know, it's owned by other people, and not that there's anything wrong with it if it tastes Caribbean, but it's important that when you're selling something and you've got your Jamaican name out of it, it's authentic, and that's why it's important.
In the previous episode, I kind of discussed things being traditional or authentic, and like how important that is. And I'm just curious to know, like, so for your customer, or even I guess the way that you view food, is it important to keep things like in terms of like the ingredients, the preparation and stuff, like really traditional? Is that really like one of your
Yes,
core values?
of course, it has to be. And in a sense, if you look at my patties, you know, it's completely different from most patties because that's the way my dad used to make it. You know, and nowadays, you know, patty can be a cheap snack and people don't even know what they're eating in it. And I will never make patties like that. I know the history of all the meat that comes in our patty, and it's important to me because if I'm flying that flag, I want it to represent on an international level as being a superior product. It's important.
You know, I guess one of the reasons why I reached out, I wanted to do this interview as well, is the you know, I've had one of your patties. I can vouch for the quality, and again, I'm not paid to say any of this, but what I'm trying to do is like put us on the world map with on par with other world cuisine, and like I do appreciate the time and effort that I can appreciate has gone into like the cooking and things like that. Now, there's another chef that I know who has a Caribbean restaurant, and he's perhaps struggled with like staffing issues and stuff. Like how do you struggle for that kind of problem? Or?
Yeah, our biggest issue is staffs because you know they're unreliable. They're not there when you need them, and I'm not being disrespectful to the younger generation, but it's a different mentality now, and people will say. You know, when people say that none of these young people want full-time job anyway. They want the ability to come in when they want and when they don't want. So it's not even employing people full-time. I mean, I am now going back to having as many part-timers because that somehow can work for us better than having full-timers because they don't want to work. You know, it's very difficult. But I'm not the only one. No matter where you go in the world, it's the same.
Yeah, I mean, say I've heard similar tones from other chefs or people running food establishments and saying similar things. So, and from perhaps a cooking perspective, have you struggled from trying to find people that can cook your way?
No, because I've got the same people who are well, that's the only part of my business that I'm happy with because my food production people is in Oxfordshire. The people who do the choreography of rice and peas is my sister, and she's the best Jamaican cook in the world.
Okay, cool. Do you want to give a shout out to maybe your sister?
Yes, Josephine. Okay. Williams Brown, she makes the best curry goat and the best jerk chicken. Thank you very much. So from that point of view, I'm well looked after.
Fantastic. So let's talk about what we're talking about other dishes like curry goat and stuff. Like what dish do you like? What's your favorite dish?
Chicken and rice and peas.
Keep it traditional, yeah? Rice and peas, okay. What kind of peas are we talking? We're talking gunga peas or?
Well, I would love gunga peas, except we can't get them nowadays away because there's no farmers in Jamaica, no young farmers in Jamaica anymore. Everything seems to gone by to buy. But we've got, I don't mind red bean.
You know, okay. Me, I think if I had to choose the two, I think I'll go like red.
Oh dear. No, I love big green gunga peas. I love that.
Okay, okay. So with I guess Easter is around the corner. Will you be having your bun and cheese
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
What's your favorite cheese to have with your bun?
Well, I always like just the yellow one. What do you call the yellow one?
The
But I don't eat English cheese, just the yellow one that come with the Jamaican bun.
I know the one. It's the one that comes in the tin.
No.
Tin. Oh, a different one.
Yes, it's yellow.
Oh, real yellow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know. I don't know the name.
Don't ask me, but that's why I like. As soon as they come with the bun and cheese, that's the one I go for.
Okay, cool. Do you? So for me, like, what I struggle with, especially with like bun, is finding food here that's on par with like how you might get it back in Jamaica. So like outside of say your restaurant, have you found that difficulty with finding similar taste or?
Yes, well, the trouble is, I always go. If I'm going to get a bun, it's going to be one of the national bun, etc. It is difficult, and not everything travel, and the ingredient here is different anyway. So when you cook anything, it's always going to be a different taste. But sometimes it's not a bad thing.
Oh, so in terms of variety and stuff.
Yeah. So I don't always think so, but everybody have different tastes, and everybody know what their favorite things are. So, and even with me, because I know what I like, and I don't like changing what I like. All my life being going into Jamaica, I never had tasty patty because I love juicy patty too much. And nobody asked me I really didn't taste tasty patty because I always will go for juicy patty. So once I know what I like, I stick to it. I know it's boring.
With cocoa bread or
no? I don't do cocoa bread with patties. As a young child, I had cocoa bread for breakfast.
Okay.
So I don't do that with patties, I'm afraid. That's a new thing for you young people.
Okay. So for our listeners listening that perhaps don't know, like sometimes you can open a cocoa
bread and put patty in.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go with my tradition of being brought up. I love in the morning my hot chocolate, we used to call us real chocolate with cocoa bread for breakfast. Me now put patty in a cocoa bread. My grandparents would turn in their grave. But
I haven't tried it. Like I've seen it, but I've never tried it.
It would be too stodgy in my opinion.
Yeah. I need to go back to Jamaica. So before we started, you mentioned how you do frequent Jamaica quite often.
Yes.
Where in Jamaica are you from?
Well, I was born in Black River, St. Elizabeth, but now I've got a house in Hanover, which is a part of the Child Club.
Okay.
And the house is called Hanover Grange.
Okay. Do you recommend any like restaurants or any food that somebody who wants to visit should try or anything like that?
Always Jamaican jerk chicken, jerk pork. I love jerk pork. When I go to Jamaica, I just live on jerk pork.
Who does the best jerk pork?
My chef.
Your chef, your personal chef, yeah? Okay. How long do they leave it in the...
Well, I don't know. I never look at that detail. I just know as soon as I say, put it on the table.
Yeah. Okay.
So I love...
I'm a big fan of jerk pork.
Oh,
chicken. I can't get enough. Like, even when Carnival comes around, that's all I go for. I literally could just go for the food.
Yeah.
And I definitely love meat.
And the other thing I love is grilled lobster with callaloo. Oh my God, that's so nice.
That sounds really, really tasty. Okay.
Again, and my chef does it, so don't ask me.
Okay. So do you like to cook or do you like to more of the eating?
No, in England, I am a cook. I can't let anyone cook for me, and I just cook, and then my children will do all the sharing out, etc. But yes, I love my own cooking. I love my children and my grandchildren love my cooking in Jamaica because I've got a place full of. It's a place called Hanover Grange. You could have a look at it, and then you'll see how that's set up. We're privileged to have this wonderful chef who's there permanently because it's a place that went out for weddings, concerts, etc. So when I go to Jamaica, I go home and I collapse. And my beautiful staff and my chef look after me. And it's a different world. I go home to paradise.
It's just so people, I guess, unless you're watching the video, can't see like the smile on your face. Like when you say home, that's the same smile my mum has.
Yeah, I go home to paradise. Yeah. So it's a different world when I'm in Jamaica than when I'm in London. When I'm in London, I cook, but my children and my grandchildren look out, tidy up and clean up and share. But Jamaica, I go and flop.
Okay. I mean, so I want to know a bit more about, I guess, the history of the restaurant and stuff. Like, when you first opened, was there any challenges that you faced?
Yes,
or-
lots of challenges. If you look at our logo, it says established 2013, but in fact we were established in 13, but we didn't open till 2014. We've been 4 years open, and Thursday was our 4th anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Thank you. But the thing is, we were ready to go. We got a brand, we got a product, but we couldn't get a venue. And then because we had 12, but I wanted to start in Covent Garden. I wanted prime location. I just felt it's going to be my flagship. I needed to be where we haven't been before. And of course, at least 12 property came up. And I offered them asking price, and all of them refused because I was a brand that they never heard of. And they wanted to make sure they had a brand that everybody know. But I'm still here, but the rates and the rent is difficult, but I'm here.
Well, I mean, I literally on the way here, I was just saying to someone that if you've been here this long, you have to be doing something right in the heart of central London, because like the rent can't be cheap, so you're doing something right.
And the trouble is, but every year it goes up more and more and more. It's always squeezing little business out. But I'm here and I'm up for the fight.
By all means. So it's funny that you mentioned the challenges with finding location, because I know somebody else that's opening up a Caribbean restaurant as well, and they've said to me that similar thing. There's certain landlords, if you like, they're not interested unless A, you're established, or B, unfortunately, for them, like Caribbean African cuisine is not experiment they want to get involved in at this point in time. So
and it was always Jamaica Patty Co. Who are and the fact that we were there giving the price, the asking price, just shows they were never interested. But now, in honesty, should I tell you what, this street now, I've seen so many business gone down since we've been open in this business. All the businesses open up with us have all gone, all the restaurants. And yet, I could tell you this, that when they're advertising the empty space on this new row, they use us as reference. They said 26. They said they advertise a space, and they then said that is the new with a good place called Jamaica Patty. They use us as reference. Yet nobody never wanted to give us the property in the first place.
That's a testament.
So that makes me always laugh.
Sure.
Look at them.
Sure. Well, look. I mean, say it's sky's the limit.
Yeah, absolutely.
From here on out, I mean, say what is, what's on in the future? Like,
well, I would like, the change in market and times are getting very difficult for restaurants. You could see all the ones that were going now. But I like to get my second place, but it's going to be in a smaller place.
Okay.
A smaller concept really, and then I would like to continue to roll out. So you see, in franchising, but. It takes a bit of time to grow.
Well, no, we definitely look forward to that, and I think we may have touched on it, but if you are listening, we are based in
26 New Road, Covent Garden.
Cool, and that's in London for our international listeners.
Yeah, London, Leicester Square.
With food, I mean, tell me a bit more about what gets you excited. What food are you passionate about, like right now?
Well, apart from my Jamaican food, I do like sort of my favourite thing. I could eat fish every day.
Which kind of fish?
Well, in London, haddock. I love haddock, you know. And then I also like Dover sole.
Okay. What about, so when you're in Jamaica, what do you like? Do you like parrotfish?
No, I don't like, I like snapper. I don't like
parrotfish?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I don't like the name. I love red mullet as well. I love red mullet. I love snapper and all the other, and I like lobster. I don't know why I don't like parrotfish.
Fair enough. No, you don't have to like it, or just
But
curious.
just have a look at it. I can't eat that parrotfish. I used to like Dr. Fish when my grandmother used to go to the seaside and get it for me.
Yeah. Okay. To revert back to patties for a second, like one thing that's important to me is flaky pastry. What, I don't know, maybe this is a secret you can't touch on, but I mean, How do you do flaky pastry? Can you allowed to share that? Or?
Do you like my pastry? Oh, it's just the way the people make it. I tell you, we have to lose a lot of pastry as well to get it as good as that, because I think after they cut one, they got to throw it away and they cut another. But I mean, I am happy with it. But I don't make it myself. It's there.
Sure.
The people make it. But I love my pastry.
I'm a big pastry fan myself, so by all means. I want to hit you with some quick fire, rapid fire questions and answers. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What did you have for dinner yesterday?
Yesterday I had red mullet.
Oh, so just
Okay. Nice.
Okay. So it's still in your memory from yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. Describe your cooking in one word.
Old style Jamaican.
That was 3 words. Just
I start again. Traditional.
Traditional. Okay. Which celebrity would you like to invite here?
It's a difficult one. Let me think. What celebrity would? I can't think. Let me see celebrities. Who would I like to?
Anyone in the world. It could be a singer.
I would like a politician.
Politician, okay.
Putin. Give me some Jamaican food. Oh, but that's me. I like to take people who never had food. You know.
Sure. My ape probably even love it. So, okay. What's your favorite midnight snack?
Black grapes.
Black grapes, yeah. Okay. Is there a chef that you really like style of cooking?
The Jamaican one.
Jamaican. Is there a particular chef in Jamaica that you're a fan of? Andre Flores. Okay. I haven't heard of what the Andres you said?
Andre. You know the Jamaican name.
Okay.
Andre Flores. He came here. He's won a lot of awards with the Jamaican Observer. Check him out.
I will. Yeah, no, 100%. I will look him up.
Yeah.
What's your favorite restaurant?
The Arts Club.
The Arts Club, yeah?
Yeah, Mayfair, I'm afraid. Because they do good fish.
Fish again. Okay. Well, my previous guest, he has a seafood tasting. He does very exquisite seafood, so I recommend you checking him out and stuff. So cool. So I would like to thank you for being our guest today for our second episode of Black Food Tales. Tell us a bit more about where we can find you, whether it's on social media or online or anything like that.
Yeah, well, we've got an online grocery thing on our website anyway, at Jamaica Patty Co. And if you look on our website, you'll see all our social media handles, and it's at Jamaica Patty Co. and www.jamaicapatty.co.uk.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, I got something which we call Dish of the Week. So I'd like to invite you to set the audience the task of trying this particular dish. So whether they cook it, if they go out to a restaurant and taste it, what dish should the audience go out and try this week?
I'm going to give it an easy one.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to say haddock with cabbage.
Haddock with cabbage, okay.
Yeah, haddock with cabbage and basmati rice.
Okay. What's this called? Is there a name to this dish?
It's my dish.
Oh, so this is
It's my dish.
Okay.
My dish. And so you get haddock, fresh haddock, cook it in pan fried with flour. And then you get the sweet hard cabbage, chop that up with a bit of tomato, onions, and put it in, and then basmati rice. It's beautiful.
I will try it. It by all means. Okay. We'll give it a name. We'll call it Theresa Special.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you very much for being
and thank
this
you.
week.
Thank you.